Hello, this is High Templar with a new episode of my Total War Warhammer DLC Speculation videos, and today we'll be talking about mini campaign for Wood Elves DLC. So as you know, we already knew that the Wood Elves will be coming, and the latest teaser on the Instagram from the Total War official told us that they are coming very soon, although that might not be Wood Elves, but many people believe it is teaser for Wood Elves. So I want to finish my Wood Elf speculation with this mini campaign stuff. So, as you know, a few months ago there was a leak showing us the roadmap for DLCs for the Total War Warhammer, and while the Creative Assembly already told us that this information is outdated, and it proved to be outdated with the King and the Warlord DLC, I'm pretty sure we will get Wood Elves pretty soon, and those guys will not change the roadmap that much. I mean, they already started working on it, and I don't think they will abandon the basics. And the leak told us about some factions that will be happening inside this DLC, and those factions contain the realms of Athel Loren, which you can see right now on the slide. So yeah, we are pretty sure that it will happen in Athel Loren. So all the 12 realms of Athel Loren are here, and the mini campaign will be revolving around Athel Loren. Probably it will contain only the entire forest, and it would be very cool because this is a very unique place, and I'm a bit worried that it will not, the Creative Assembly will not give it justice. So let's just look at Athel Loren here. We have basically 12 realms, each one having their distinct theme, and they are all mentioned, like I said. And what more, with the Beastman DLC we've got all those Karazak Brightheart faction and Redhorn tribe. All of them were mentioned in the data, so now it gives more credibility to those 12 realms of Athel Loren being in the data. And I just wanted to go quickly describe them, and while I don't think they will have that much of a uniqueness in the mini campaign because it would be very hard to implement and it would take quite some time, I want to basically, I feel there will be at least something about them that will, make them unique, and there is quite some few things that you can implement here, but that you can make about them. I know I'm talking in riddles, but let's just start and I will explain what I mean. So first mentioned realm is Anmer, and this is actually the Winterhold, and this particular realm is very important because here it is. Because it's very corrupted by the Beastmen. Basically one of the arch-enemies of the Wood Elves, the embodiment of the mutation, died there. I mean, he's actually not really dead because on occasion he comes back, but he died there and he corrupted the forest, and lots of Beastmen are in this particular part of Athel Loren. And yeah, you would expect lots of Beastmen in there, and I'm pretty sure there will be lots of Beastmen in the mini campaign. I'm not sure about the theme of the mini campaign. I will talk about the theme of mini campaign after. Like Karazak One Eye, the theme of the campaign was actually to kill the Boris. Will it be similar? I don't know. But yeah, let's go back to the realms. So this realm is all about Beastmen and corruption. Then we have Aranok, and this is Summerstrand. So this is a land of eternal summer. And basically the Wood Elves are very dependent on the times of the year. So the seasons are affecting them a lot. During the summer they are the strongest because the spirit of the forest are the strongest, and I will talk about the spirit of the forest right now because this is very good place. Aranok is filled with spirit of the forest. They are the strongest there. However, the spirit of the forest being Dryad, Treekin and Treeman. I was already talking about them during my army part of the Wood Elves Speculation video. So those guys are, well, they are called Tree Demons, and there is very good reason for calling them like that. These guys are not like fairies of Disney movie. Those guys are pretty dark. They are an embodiment of hatred. The forest of Athel Loren is basically alive. It was alive for a very long time. It is told that this forest and the oak that is inside, the Oak of Ages that is in the middle of it, are basically planted by the old ones. So that's pretty old. That's before the warp gates and so on. Although some people believe that the actual Storm of Chaos brought them to be. No matter how you look at it, those guys are magical beings that are tied to this realm, and in some cases it is similar to, like in the Treemen, it is similar to actually possession. Like the Treemen are actually possessing the living tree, while Treekin and Dryads are actually more tied to the dead trees. No matter, they are basically a demon, they are basically a hatred incarnate. They will kill some people. Not like there is also some trickster spirits in the forest, and there is another realm for them that they are specifically strong. But those guys also will make tricks on you that might be pretty deadly, and you better laugh at their jokes, because if you don't, they might just kill you. So it's pretty dark, and the Summer Strand is a place when there is lots of those spirits and lots of elves, there is lots of feasts, but there is always a dark story connected to it, and I won't go into the lore details about it, but that's not really a very happy place, the Athel Loren, to be very precise. Also, the realms of Athel Loren are basically self-governing, and they are fighting between each other, much more than, say, the Empire provinces fight with each other. So there will be some infighting during the mini-campaign for sure. So yeah, the next realm is Argvelon, and this is Moonspring Glades. And this is Land of Eternal Spring, and there is this realm is very specific for eagles. The inhabitants of these lands are very tied to the eagles, and the eagles are the unit and the mount for the Wood Elves. We might see only mounts, but we might see both, which would be very cool. I mean, we've seen feral manticores for Chaos. We might see eagles for the Wood Elves the same way. And yeah, those guys also have very strong magic. The barrier between this realm and the magic realm in this place is very thin. So we might see, and when I go further, you might notice that some of the units are tied to some of the realms, and that might be or might not be implemented in the mini campaign. Then we have Athelvet, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing all of those. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing any of those correctly. But the Athelwind is the Winter Heart. So this is the realm that is basically eternal night, and this realm is eternal winter from the Winter Heart, and this is the realm that the spirit of the forests are the weakest, and they are sluggish, and most of them are sleeping. So pretty much, at this time there are pretty much only the Wood Elves defending this particular realm. So the Eternal Guards, which are like more elite units for the Wood Elves are actually there, stationed more there, and they are the main defense force. So like the Eagles are tied to the previous one, those guys are tied to this one. And then we have Kavarog, which are Skymark reaches. If we go back to this one quickly. So the Skymark reaches are very much in the south, and basically the Horse Masters are here. This is sparsely populated, this is sparsely wooded area, and there are lots of horses, and the Glade Riders are coming from it, so another unit tied to a specific one, a specific realm. And then we have something very important that I have to stop. You can see this. This is Citteral Wildwood, and the Wildwood is very specific. Wildwood is there because not every spirit of the forest are friends with the Wood Elves. This is a very particular part of the forest where all the nasty spirits, except for Drycha, but there are some Drycha friends trapped in there, and the Wood Elves basically close down this part of the wood. And there is also Wildwood Rangers that are patrolling the area, and the Elves are not actually living in the Wildwood, they are living outside and basically manning the magical defenses and making sure nothing will be getting out, because if those forest spirits will be getting out, it will be very, very bad. Lots of nasty spirits, lots of very bloodthirsty spirits that want to kill pretty much anything that is not forest creature, and that includes the Wood Elves. So, as I've mentioned, I might be talking about the theme of the campaign, and the theme of the campaign might be containing those threats inside the Wildwood, pretty much the same way as the Chaos Invasion is the theme of, defending the old world from the Chaos Invasions. So that will be interesting to see. Then another faction that is mentioned in the league is actually Durtu. And Durtu is very, very, very powerful ancient treeman. And I'm kind of worried that he's mentioned here as a separate faction, because that might mean we will not get him as the Legendary Lord. And if we not get him as the Legendary Lord, I would be sad. The Durtu is one of the two most powerful, or the most powerful actually, ancient treemen. And he's older than pretty much anything. He might be the first entity that gained consciousness in Athel Loren, and he is more ancient than the elf race itself. So we are talking Slan Mage Priest level of being old. And he was the one who actually forged the alliance between the elves and the forest. And later on during the time of Chaos Invasions and during the defense of the Athel Loren, he stopped being such a good friend to elves. He was very good friend to elves. But now he's like, they are allies, but they are not super good friends anymore. And I would hate to fight him because I want to have him as Legendary Lord. And I'm hoping he will be just like another faction that we might, like the Underground clan, we might be able to confederate with, for example. That would be very good. Or he might be actually leading all the forest spirits. That would also be very nice. Then we have a faction called Eorgovan, and we really don't know anything about it. Or at least I wasn't able to find anything interesting about it. Then we have Ferndarik, and Ferndarik is the Trickster Wood. And I've mentioned that I've mentioned that there is a special realm for those tricksters, and those tricksters are sometimes imprisoning some, mortals, and this is also like a kind of a home for war dancers. If you can call the home for war dancers anywhere, that would be this place. So yeah, we might see them here, and there is actually a very dark ritual that people that are imprisoned by the tricksters are giving a choice by the forest of the spirit of the forest in general, is that they can go if they can defeat the war dancer in the duel, which is pretty much impossible. So it's actually kind of entertainment for the spirits, I guess, and it's considered to be a bad entertainment if the detainee die before, say, 100 cuts. So pretty dark there. And when we are coming to dark, the next realm is Modron, and Modron is the Nightlands. This is a place of eternal night. Sun is never rising anywhere near this place, and obviously Bretonnians that are close to this place are giving it to a white bird. Not that they actually, Bretonnians do venture into the woods on very often. They do steer clear of the woods in general, but there are some people who venture into there. And Modron is very dark in many senses. There is some forbidden magic practiced by the elves of Modron, and it's pretty interesting place, and I would really like to see it implemented. Really, like, it should be really dark, like similar to Sylvania, I guess, but more foresty. But I'm pretty sure it won't be shown as well as I hope it will, or even if it will be at all. Then we have Tuset, which is the Ashen Vale. This is a very sad place where the elves are actually, very focused on the passing stuff. Not much interesting to say about it. There is the Talsen, which is actually kind of a capital. There is a Grove of Eternity there, and Oak of Ages. Oak of Ages is the place when the world's roots are, coming together, crossing each other and so on. So it is used by the elves to travel with the world roots, and they can go all the way to Nazgûl even if they want to with those. And these mechanics will be most likely implemented the same way as the Beastman Paths or the Underways. But still, would be cool to see them implemented in slightly more foresty way. Maybe you can use that only where the woods are, but that will matter in the Grand campaign. In the mini campaign, it's Athel Loren. There is woods everywhere. And finally, we have the realm of Widriot. This is basically the Pine Crags in the south near the mountains. This is the place where the most of the invasions are trying to come. So the Wood Elves there have created some live fortresses in the trees. Lots of defenses of Athel Loren are there, and no matter if orcs or dwarves are coming in, they are being stopped at right there. And that is all about all the realms of Athel Loren. Will we see them implemented in this way? I'm not sure. We might see that some of the units will be only recruitable in some places, and that would be very cool touch. So you gain more provinces, and when you gain more provinces you get more recruitment options, but we might just be able to recruit pretty much everything anywhere. Would be slightly disappointing, but yeah. As for the main theme of this campaign, I would see two possibilities. One would be Beastmen, and the Beastmen are one of the most iconic enemies for the Wood Elves. Those guys are corrupting the forest, and they are fighting the Wood Elves since time immemorial, and that is actually a very cool enemy, and maybe they will be fleshed out a bit more during this DLC. Or the Bretonia, who actually has some kind of a non-aggression pact with the Wood Elves. But either way, I would really like to see the arch enemy of the Wood Elves being the focus of this campaign. But also we might see something else, and this is, for example, the Beastman quote leader unquote, who is the embodiment of the mutation, and even being close to the guy might cause you to mutate. Actually, in the tabletop there is a rule that you might actually change into Chaos Spawn when you are close to the guy. So yeah, and he looks, I don't think he will be implemented because of, look at this model, it would be very hard to actually do that, and this is why I think he might not be implemented in this way. The second focus might be actually the spirits of the forest, like I said, the Wildwood. And those guys are kind of led by Drycha, who is... she's a Dryad, he's a very powerful Dryad, a forest spirit, that don't like the Wood Elves. I mean, she doesn't like anybody. She is told to be responsible for the attacks on Bretonia and Empire, where the Woods came alive and destroyed entire villages. And yeah, she would be very, very cool enemy to fight in the Athel Loren, trying to kill the Wood Elves, the embodiment of the hatred of the forest for all the bad things that happened to the forest, basically. And yeah, I would. That's actually pretty much all I had to say. So we have some mechanics like world routes. We have all the realms of the Athel Loren. We probably won't get a Bretonia as a part of the map, but we might, because Athel Loren is bordering Bretonia. We might have like a bit of it somehow. We will probably get some orcs or dwarves coming into the forest, or being on the edge and generally causing some threat. We will have beastmen for sure, and we might get nasty forest spirits, and that would be very, very, very cool. And as I said, we might get some of the units connected to the specific realms, but I'm really not sure about that. So yeah, this is, for example, Dryad, right? So not really your fairy tale kind of forest spirit, right? Yep. They are there to kill you. And I have very high hopes for this campaign. I'm hoping it will be much better than the previous one. I mean, I'm hoping of something along the lines of Age of Charlemagne instead of what we got with Beastmen, because that wasn't that good of a campaign, really. Yes, you had to fight some humans, there were some orcs, not really. You basically were fighting humans all the time, and that kind of were boring, and kind of not much was happening with the Eye for an Eye campaign. I do get there is a specific team connected to it, and and this was actually the same for the Grim the Grave and the King and the Warlord, and I just am interested in what will happen with the Wood Elves. But I already told you, there is Druthu, there is Drycha, there are Beastmen, so there are few possible choices here, and I am hoping we will get Orion and Ariel as our legendary lords. Also, I am also hoping for Druthu, and those guys will lead Wood Elves to win the Athel Loren first, and then we can go for the around the Old World trip and do main campaign with the Wood Elves. I would really like to try this mini campaign. I will play it, and you can see, you will be able to see this on my channel. Either way, this is pretty much it. I hope you like it. If you did, press like, comment if you will, and see my other DLC analysis videos, my DLC speculation and prediction videos, and my Let's Plays for Total War series, but also different games. Thank you for watching, and see you later.